getting Detroit on their heels a little bit.
First down on the 27. Murray going up on top to Johnson, touchdown! Kyler Murray on the pass, and it's going to be a touchdown. Larry Fitzgerald.
Larry Fitzgerald into the end zone, touchdown Arizona. Inside the 4. Murray rolling to his right. Goes back to David Johnson. Can he make one man miss? Yes, he does. Inside the 5-yard line. Diving into the end zone for the touchdown is David Johnson.
There's no one open on the backside. If it was by design, they would have had a lineman or someone out there to help block for David Johnson. Murray just has enough presence of mind to look back and say, there's David Johnson sitting all by himself in some space. Flips it to him, and David Johnson does the rest. It's unbelievable. But again, it comes from the brilliance of Kyle.
Third down and goal. That's Isabella in motion. He's wide open, and Murray didn't see him. He gives it to Edmonds, who will find the end zone and a touchdown. Murray rolling.
Got him wide open.
Come back the other way, and wide open is right. Max Williams, touchdown. All right, here's third down, and a jump ball to the end zone, and it is a touchdown for David Johnson, and a penalty flag is down.
Oh, well, and to have the night that he's having on top of it.
They fake a toss to him. Murray's looking in the end zone. Pass is caught for the touchdown by Keyshawn.
On this possession, or at least try to get to it. That spreads out the defense and creates space. Then on that back end, and Keyshawn Johnson able to get into the end zone. Game, and he's doing well.
Murray fires, pass is caught, and now down the sideline.
Look out.
Isabella, the rookie, gets a block and goes in for the touchdown. There are no flags. 88 yards, and the Cardinals are back in it.
And then it's curious he would come out of the game here, but look at this. It is Christian Kirk into the end zone.
Pointing, right? I have inside help. So he jumps to his outside, leaving a clear path for Christian Kirk. The problem is there's no help coming from the inside. What's the problem? Todd Bowles told us in the back end of their defense. And also get Kyler into his rhythm.
Down the sideline, and it is Christian Kirk with another big one and his second touchdown of the afternoon.
Plus, they're out of challenges moving forward.
That's right. All right, second down for Murray. Slings it across the middle. It's tipped into the hands of Kirk, who did not have a touchdown.
Well, he's got the matchup. He's one-on-one with White, and this is such a good throw, but the catch and the concentration.
Murray, touchdown! Larry Fitzgerald. On second and goal, Murray throws. Room to run for Pharaoh Cooper, and in for the touchdown.
For that incompletion. Third down. Murray. Touchdown! Charles Clay, his first as an Arizona Cardinal. Is running down. Murray looking deep, and it's caught! Touchdown! David Johnson! Doesn't get off the ground enough, and that ball sails right over his fingertips into the hands of David.
On second down, Murray has time to the back of the end zone for Arnold. A leaping attempt. Did he get it? He did. Touchdown Cardinals. On second and 7. Pressure on Murray, but there he goes. He flips to Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald to the goal line. And in for a Cardinal touchdown. A little bit of magic for a loss of 1. Murray for the end zone. Open touchdown Cardinals. Moving around on the line. Kyler Murray throws. Catch. Touchdown. Cardinals and Damiere Byrd. Boy, Murray rifled that one right in there.
Kyler Murray, a rare visit under center on first down. Play action, throws it short to Edmonds. Edmonds at the 5, diving for the pylon. Is he in? No signal. There it is. Touchdown.
Down and goal from the 4. Murray fires. Touchdown. And it's DeAndre Hopkins all alone in the back of the end zone. Down and goal from the 13 now. And Murray with a fade to the end zone. And the pass to Isabella, caught for the touchdown. Andy Isabella, a jack-of-all-trades player for the Cardinals. Ball at the 4, and there's the pass. It's caught by Isabella, gets in for the touchdown. Andy Isabella with his second touchdown catch of the game, and giving the Arizona Cardinals the lead once more.
Co-injury since last week's game. Haven't seen him since. Murray, off play action for the end zone, leaping up to pull it in. It's Jordan.
So I love guys that can deliver strikes where their body doesn't have to be in perfect position. There's the deal.
Kirk in motion. Murray looking in his direction. Kirk with the catch and the touchdown. And Arizona back on the board in a must-score drive. Murray. Edmonds slipping out of the backfield and in for the touchdown.
Well, that's
1st and 15. Murray looking deep down the sideline for DeAndre Hopkins again. Hopkins hangs on for the touchdown.
a one-handed catch by DeAndre Hopkins. And
one up top. Just outside the 5. Flip it to Christian Kirk. Got the angle and got the touchdown for the Cardinals. Don't have that research on that. It was Lisa's voice. Why don't you ask her? Here's 1st and 10. Kyler Murray, a deep shot. Got a man and it's caught. Christian Kirk. How about 80 yards to the house? Just like that. Speaking of...
Murray had thought about playing baseball as he takes a snap on the 3rd and 2 and goes deep down the left side, and it's hauled in for the touchdown by DeAndre Hopkins.
This guy works the sideline better than any human being I think I have ever seen. He has made so many more catches within a couple yards of that boundary than almost anybody who's ever played the game.
1st and goal from the 7th. Murray, and wide open and making the catch, Christian Kirk. Game again.
Expecting this corner to go back, but instead he levels off when he sees the outcut in front of
87 yards. Flare him out to the right. Pass goes to the 1-yard line, and then it's Christian Kirk trying to get in, and he does for the touchdown.
Catch and the move at the same time, right? As the ball is coming to him, he's already started his move, so Quentin Dunbar just flew right past him.
Just checking to make sure he got in.
Oh, yeah.
33 yards rushing, 1st and goal. Murray, he's got a man wide open. Max Williams will walk it in. His first catch of the season. He had been on IR until
comp right now for Flores. But when you look at it, that would be a great race. Murray against Jackson. Murray has got elite quickness. How about his deep ball? Looking for Kirk. He's got him! Touchdown! A 50!
At the combine, 4.47. You're going, that's pretty fast. But his game speed, I think, is a lot faster than that clock.
Evan Peterson, a concussion.
All right, 2 big losses. You're right. As Murray looking end zone, and it is juggled and then caught by Daniels, but they're complete.
Well, there's Jones right in the play, and there's Daniels trying to snatch the ball away from him. And as they go to the ground, he has it now, completes a catch, finish.
Shotgun. Murray out of the pocket. 7 seconds. 6 seconds. Murray heaves it downfield. It is. Oh, it's caught. It is caught. DeAndre Hopkins. Miraculous.
End zone pass is caught for the touchdown, Arnold. Arnold, his first of the year.
That's a good job by Arnold coming off the ball. They string him out to the boundary.
3rd down and goal. A lot of pressure, wide open for the touchdown, Chase Edmonds.
That's Isabella again. Running around. Time for Murray down the middle of the field and wide open. Headed for the end zone is Dan Arnold, and that's a Cardinal touchdown.
Guys, watch Hop. He's going to run the over route, and you're going to see 3 Rams that go with him. That is a no-no, but that's the attention a superstar gets. It leaves Arnold open, and an explosive play this Cardinals need.
Kyler Murray for the end zone. Catch made, a touchdown Cardinals. It's DeAndre Hopkins. To the NFC West title, Murray backing up, floating it in the end zone, and the catch. Touchdown, Arizona.
On third down, Murray to the back of the end zone. It is a
It's in the 3 spot. We call that the slot 3 spot, and Logan Ryan anticipating him actually going under, instead goes up, and Kyler Murray putting it only where Dan Arnold could get it, man. And this is the beauty of Kyler Murray. Look how long he takes.
No help nowhere. And Murray throwing it out to the side and into the end zone goes Chase Edmonds in the mid-80s. Now Murray scrambling, throwing on the run. Did he catch that? What a catch it was by Larry Fitzgerald.
The ball didn't even come close to his body. That's Larry Fitzgerald for you right there, man, at its best. Kyler Murray doing what his dad can't teach him, though. As soon as that pocket gets muddy, it seems like he always seemed to find it.
Remember, Kenyon Drake went out for a while with an injury. Toward the sideline, there's Hopkins again. Wow, touchdown.
It up. Great pass, great location of the football.
3rd and goal from the 6. Pressure's coming. Murray breaks away. Murray throws on the run, back of the end zone. Caught Hopkins. Did he get in bounds? He did! In the back of the end zone.
Be pressure off this left-hand side by Harold Landry. That gets Kyler Murray to spill. But how about that arm strength, throwing across his body with accuracy, both feet in the ground. DeAndre
5, Murray knows it. Little slant to Hopkins. Hopkins with a spin move toward the end zone, dives, touchdown Arizona. Kevin Byard was in on the coverage, and that was 1,000 getting loud. Murray lofting it toward the end zone for Kirk, and Kirk's got it.
up here in the bottom of the screen.
Murray's looking toward that bottom, looking toward the end zone for Kirk, who turns his body, makes the catch. Touchdown, Aaron.
Kirk did there. You put 6 points up on the board.
That is the 50th touchdown pass of Kyler Murray's career.
The backfield for Murray. Kyler Murray. Buying time. Murray throws. Touchdown, Arizona. DeAndre Hopkins. 15 yards. As they start at their own 23. Murray. Reverses. Murray. Looks long. He's got a receiver. Moore with a blocker. Rondale Moore, the rookie. Touchdown, Arizona. Wow. 77 big targets today. He just gained 25. And here's the strike to the far side. A.J. Green dives. Down.
For the Cardinals on 3rd and 6. Murray has a moment here and fires. Catch made inside the 5. A.J. Green with a Cardinal touchdown. Despite the coverage, that 6'4" frame, he hauled it in against David Long on 2nd and 13. Murray floats for the end zone. The tight end has it, and he hangs on for a Cardinal touchdown. Max Williams.
His play of the day, though, for 30 yards, and Murray throwing for the end zone, and he fits it in to DeAndre Hopkins for the touchdown. One-on-one with Josh Norman and Hopkins. For the Cardinals, 3rd and 21. Kyler looking to run, floats it for Kirk in the end zone, tiptoes his way in. It's a touchdown. What a toss and a better catch. Christian Kirk's 3rd touchdown of the year.
Mistakes for this Browns defense.
Officially the first 3rd down of the drive, and it's DeAndre Hopkins getting his first catch. Oh, what a move! DeAndre Hopkins all the way in for the touchdown. touchdown. A spectacular open field move.
Defenders blitz off the edge, and DeAndre Hopkins, look at him. He barely even runs around. He just turns around and gives Kyler his numbers and his attention.
2nd and goal. Murray with some time. Back of the end zone, wide open. DeAndre Hopkins. He was the loneliest man in Cleveland. And Kyler Murray hits him. It's here in Cleveland tonight. Murray floating it for Green, and A.J. Green with the catch and the touchdown.
Single back runs, and they finally waited till they decided to pack the box. Oh, what a beautiful throw, too, right in stride.
Murray with the pass on the touchdown. Hopkins.
On the sideline, you just can't have that.
Murray. Throwing. Touchdown. Christian Kirk.
Little shot and a closing window on the run. And Christian Kirk, quarterback in the NFL right now, and just throws a pretty football.
Wide open, he hit Zach Ertz. Ertz, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Arizona. Murray looking for Hopkins, and DeAndre Hopkins is going to be ruled incomplete. Now they're changing it. Jerome Boger announcing it that it is going to be a touchdown. And that's the right call, it seems like, on initial view.
Got the catch. Crosses the line. Linebackers for Chicago.
London, that's a name that goes way, way back in Bears history. What a catch by Connor! And James Conner is in! What a play! And Connor celebrates another touchdown.
As he gets out there, look at the one hand, and then he makes Crawford miss down the sideline. Just sticks that paw out there. Look at him exchange the hands, too.
Here's Murray. Throwing it in the end zone. Caught Kirk. Touchdown Cards.
Touchdown Cardinals. Caught him in 0.
Cardinals score in 3 minutes and 4 seconds. Murray looking to throw. Down the sideline. Lofts it up there. Antoine Wesley for the Cardinal touchdown. This game.
Murray keeps. Flips. Touchdown Arizona. Antoine Wesley, his 2nd of the year.
And the Cardinals, 3 defenders out there to handle Kyler Murray that's a heck of a job. I mean, the Cowboys almost get a hand on him. Malik Hooker right there. A little off with that pass rush.
3rd down here. Wesley up to get it. Touchdown Arizona.
As I mentioned, he's had to play more because of Hopkins not being available. He has a history with head coach Cliff Kingsbury, having played for him at Texas Tech. And so he's able to run this offense.
Short to Connor, slips away from Brooks, hurdles his way, and he is in for the touchdown.
Pressure here. Throw the fade right away. Let's go.
Got rid of it. Diving attempt. Caught. Hollywood Brown. A touchdown for the first time since 2018 at Oklahoma. He was Murray's top target with 75 catches, 1,300 yards, and 10 touchdowns.
Through writing it down in so many different ways. And
he's got another touchdown pass.
He does.
That's Ertz at the goal line. Ertz with a touchdown to go with his earlier 2.
Inside here on this 3rd and goal.
Murray with time, throws this side, touchdown. Greg Dortch on the receive.
Murray on 3rd down. Looking end zone, he throws. Touchdown. Zach Ertz.
At home would be losing to a 3rd-string quarterback.
And now Murray to the end zone. Brown, touchdown.
Better than that. Look at the concentration to go up and get the football contested. by Miles Hartfield.
Wow. Ooh. Catch made. Hollywood Brown trying to shake loose, and he does! To the end zone! That's going to be a Cardinal touchdown!
Shake his way to the inside, and he shakes Epps on that one. But what I love about that is that Brown knew he was going in T.J. Edwards' area in that line.
2nd and goal. To the left side, caught and into the end zone. Greg Dortch. Touchdown.
Murray. End zone throw. Oh, what a catch! One-handed DeAndre Hopkins.
Come down here in motion. He's completely covered up right here. Why would you? Because number 10 has got the biggest hands on the planet. And look at him stab that thing out there, making it look easy. You can't have better coverage if you're Harrison Smith right there. Call it the turkey hole, but they call that the turkey hole.
Right to the line again. A quick toss to Zach Ertz, who slips a tackle and powers his way toward the goal line.
And obviously, once 10 just establishes things. Nice little block. I mean, just there. Not great, but look at this.
Oh, wow.
Just understanding on the running play, the quick throws.
Tyler's toss is good. Back to Rondale Moore. Stretches out of it. He's going to go into the end zone, and that's going to be a Cardinal touchdown.
Come inside right here. Sit down in that zone coverage soft, and then, you know, Kendrick, you're going for the ball.
3rd and short. Kyler Murray. Under pressure from Poona Ford. He's got DeAndre Hopkins, and Hopkins has a touchdown. Murray, quick throw on the slant. It's Ertz for the touchdown. And career touchdown reception number 45 for Ertz. 6 of those have now come against Seattle.
Blitz is on, down the middle. He's got the wide open Hopkins with a spinning broken tackle, taking it into the end zone. Touchdown Cardinals. Murray blocked by Beacham. Oh, he's got Connor, and he's got a touchdown.
In motion is Swain. They'll use all 4 tight ends today. Murray dancing in the pocket. He's looking long. He's looking for Rondale Moore. He's got it. Touchdown, Cardinals.
At Marquise Brown on the outside, lined up.
End zone throw. Whoa! Greg Dortch. It's a Cardinal touchdown
here. Watch the feet pitter patter. Good timing on the throw. Just gets that one hand. That's all he needs.
Use the other hand.
Yeah, use the other hand to block the defender.
Goal. After the goal line stand, Murray, end zone, that is caught, and that is a touchdown. McBride gets it with Fitzpatrick and KZ on him, and they get
Fiery attitude. 3rd and goal. Murray. Thrown off his back foot. It's caught by Higgins for the touchdown.
Murray, Connor wide open. Connor at the 10, down the sideline, into the end zone for an Arizona touchdown. 5. Play clock at 1 as the shotgun snap comes to Murray. He'll throw it over the middle. Catch is made on a cross by Dortch. First down. Oh, nice hesitation. Dortch is zigzag down the sideline. Dortch diving for the end zone touchdown. On 2nd and goal. In the flats, it's Carter with the catch. Breaks a tackle and a touchdown.
By kind of that rub route from Trey McBride, but just not a sense of urgency. Go get me Marvin Harrison Jr. and bring him here.
He gets away from Josh Sweat. Keeps the play alive. Lofts for Connor. One-handed catch. What a day for James Conner. And what a grab.
What a finish. What a finish.
Pressure coming. End zone. Wilson. Touchdown. The 4th down gamble pays off.
You got, they got something going here. Coach Rogers, the special teams coach, cooked something up.
The shotgun snap to Kyler Murray to the end zone. Opening up to make the catch. Trey McBride with the touchdown.
Prater and Gilligan, the holder and kicker, And then Kyler Murray just takes a shot right there.
Connor in the backfield. Murray pumps once. Murray in trouble. Murray toward the back of the end zone. Caught! Michael Wilson. And the Cardinals take
pumps, and then Michael Wilson goes and helps his quarterback. Kyler buys time, and then a great job finding his receiver.
Obviously, Murray was hurt for the first half last season. Back to throw. Launches, end zone. Harrison!
Under that football, but let's see.
When did he possess it?
Yeah,
did he have
question.
both feet down?
Oh, that's a tight one.
You see the feet, the toes are down impressively, but fake to Connor. Murray on the rollout, looking deep for Harrison! Marvin Harrison Jr. to the end zone! Touchdown again!
Harrison Jr., you better check it twice. That doesn't happen often. What do we say about Kyler Murray? He's got to take over and own this thing. Those are the kind of plays that we got to see.
And a great
Marvin Harrison Jr. around. Now they got him in the slot.
Murray's looking for him. Pressure coming. Got away from Verse. Still on the move. Still on his feet. Throws to the end zone. It is caught by Elijah Higgins.
Makes four guys miss. There's one. There's two, three, and four. Then to see that play.
Jr., bottom of your screen. On 1st and goal from the 10. Firing to the corner. And the catch is made by Marvin Harrison Jr. And that's a Cardinal touchdown. Does he give it to Connor? He's looking. He's throwing for the end zone. Fingertip grab. Yeah, that's a Cardinal touchdown.